Welcome to this informative session on satellites and their role in our lives. A satellite is an object that orbits around a planet or other celestial body, and they have revolutionized the way we communicate, track weather patterns, navigate, and much more. In this presentation, we will cover the basics of satellites, how they are launched into orbit, and the technology inside a modern satellite. Let's dive in. There are two types of satellites, natural satellites and artificial satellites. Natural satellites are moons that orbit planets, such as the moon that orbits the Earth. Artificial satellites, on the other hand, are man-made machines that orbit the Earth. In this presentation, we will focus on artificial satellites. Satellites are launched into orbit using rocket launches. The rocket must reach a certain altitude and velocity in order to place the satellite into orbit. The satellite must also be placed into the correct orbit, which depends on its intended use. For example, a weather satellite needs to be in a polar orbit, while a communication satellite needs to be in a geostationary orbit. A modern satellite contains a variety of components that make it possible to perform its intended functions. These components include solar panels to provide power, communication equipment to transmit and receive signals, sensors to gather data, and a propulsion system to control the satellite's position. Satellites play a crucial role in global communication by transmitting and receiving signals from one place to another. The signals from satellites are received by antenna dishes on the ground, which then forward the signals to the relevant devices. Satellites also enable us to connect to the internet from remote locations, making it possible for people in rural areas to access the same services as those in urban areas. Satellites are also instrumental in weather forecasting. By gathering information about temperature, air pressure, wind speed, and humidity, satellites can help meteorologists predict the weather with great accuracy. This information is used to create weather maps, which help us understand what conditions to expect in different parts of the world. GPS, or the Global Positioning System, is a network of satellites that provides information on the location of an object on Earth. GPS receivers on our devices use signals from the satellites to determine the location of the device and provide navigation information. GPS is used in a variety of applications, including mapping, surveying, and tracking. That concludes our session on satellites. We hope you have a better understanding of the role satellites play in our lives and the technology behind them. Satellites are a remarkable feat of engineering and science, and they continue to shape our world in ways we never thought possible. Thank you for joining us.